Get woke, go broke. That is the answer that unfortunately Bob Iger from Disney CEO doesn't want to actually say. So they got to come up with some other things, and scratching their gray hairs, going, well, let's see. What would they accept? Maybe we've made too many of these Marvel films. If that's really the problem, there's just too many of them, and that's why. And we've just not been able to have studio insight, studio people being on set and paying attention to what's being developed and quality control. And that's why it's lost the magic. No. I'm sorry. Great literature. There has been series of great literature. Like, for instance, I'm going to say this. Harry Potter is a great piece of literature, even though you may or may not like the content itself. The Harry Potter has made so many of those, and they are fantastic pieces of literature. Just because there is amount, Marvel is a huge universe. Just because amount doesn't mean bad quality. Now it can, but it's not in this case, and this is not the real problem. The real problem is they have hired woke people, woke artists, who is what is a contradiction in terms, because woke is an ideology that, number one, censors everything into a very particular framework. It's like fundamentalism for Christianity, but in a framework of an anti-God framework that's in a Marxist world. And that is the fundamentalism that they are trying to ramrod society through and push this all into it. And so what happened with the Marvels, every single aspect that I saw when I watched the film a few weeks ago, every single aspect of the film was hugely terrible. Hugely terrible. You've got the writing was absolutely atrocious in multiple places. You've got the actual characterizations. When you put only women, especially a women villain, and all this womenosity, if you will, and then just all this women power, and it's clearly this saturated with ideological drivel that has nothing to do with great, strong women at all. There are great stories of great, strong, like Ridley from Alien. There are plenty of examples of great, strong female characters that are written. C.J. Craig on the West Wing. Amazingly well, strong characters that do not have to bow the knee to women power. They are great on their own when you write them as human beings. And that is not something that a woke person can do. So here's the thing. Disney's going to not go anywhere. Disney's going down. Disney will not recover until they recognize that great art, you have to hire great people who love great art and are not woke, where their ideology censors their ability to tell the great stories. And great stories have to do with conflicts between good and evil, between right and wrong, inside in the moral concepts, and overcoming great odds, and as an individual striving for that which you should be, while at the same time recognizing you're going to be fallen, and you need people as a part of a team to accomplish the goals that you need to accomplish. And when you choose those things, as an anti-hero story will tell you, when you ignore and erode certain things to achieve other things, that will cause great harm to your relationships. That's what great storytelling is about. It's about showing ethics and showing what that means. But when you only have a lens where only a certain type of ethic can be put on screen, when you can only say that this is what's true and everything else doesn't have any opportunity to battle it out and have a good discussion in a healthy way where you're not strawmanning each other's positions and you're truly giving opportunity to the other side to present their arguments in a collective fashion where you clash ideologies at a level of reality, you won't make great stories. And Marvel films are designed to do that. Marvel stories are designed to talk about some of the basest things in a good way, foundational things that we have to deal with as human beings. But trying to shoehorn in all this woke ideology won't work. And trying to obfuscate it away of, we need more studio involvement. Yes, all boardrooms have made great stories even better, right? No artist would ever say that. No writer would ever say that a boardroom of people deciding what you're going to write is what makes great writing. No one would say that. It's the individual whose mindset is ordered to a biblical orientation with structural understanding of the world and worldviews and how they interact that creates great drama and great conflict. And unfortunately, it's what's so incredible is even the pagans who had this great idea of of great storytelling throughout history have gotten censored by the woke left. And so hopefully we are at least an opportunity to recognize that this is not the problem. The problem really is the people they've hired. And until that happens, we're not going to see a great return of Disney. And that's okay, because there's Daily Wire, and many others who are taking Disney on, like Lady Ballers is an attempt at these kind of, salacious humor comedies like Wedding Crashers and other things, basically making fun of what is going on with the woke. And that is the reality that we are in right now. The reality is the great art that no one wants to go to, the places you don't want to go in woke society, is the places we need to go. And the more companies that realize that, the more they'll gain market share and gain great stories, regain some of the great stories instead of having to do all these remakes, which is great for the bottom line of a studio, which I'm sure Bob Iger would also say, hey, we need some bottom line patters. But guess what? It's better to invest in artists who care about truth and exploring that truth and ethics through the story in an authentic way. That's the only way we're going to get back great Disney.